ever since I learned how to sew 7 years ago, it's always been difficult for me to choose exactly what I want to make. I think there's tons of great ideas everywhere, great inspiration, but I never know exactly if it's going to look good on me and my body. And that's why that for this week, I was actually looking for some inspiration on Aiclo, and I found this gorgeous dress that I knew I had to make. So I'm going to show you how I used that pattern and turn it into the exact dress that I have in my head. So if you want to come along with me throughout the pattern making and sewing process, make sure to watch this video. Welcome to Aiclo. Hi, my name is Fabiana, and today we're going to be sewing an off-the-shoulder linen dress. I say linen because I already bought the fabric because I have a pretty clear vision of what I want. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, I already have the fabric and I just find it to be so beautiful. It's 100% linen and it's in this navy blue color. I love darker colors and hopefully it'll look beautiful with this dress. But for this pattern exactly, I think you could use any other fabrics that are hopefully non-stretch. So maybe another cotton fabric like poplin. I think that a crisp white poplin fabric for this dress would look so good as well. I was actually between those two colors when I was choosing this one, but I just went ahead and bought the darker color. So yeah, when you're picking out fabric, just make sure to pick something that you know you're going to wear. You don't want to make it and spend all the time and just having it hang in your closet. Now that we're done talking about the fabric, we're going to start with our pattern. I'm going to show you how I make it on Aiclo. It's super easy. I'm not kidding. You can make a pattern in 5 minutes or less, and you can even open it up in your computer while I make it and we can make it along together. It's super simple, so let me show you. Okay, so here I'm on Aiclo, and this is a pattern that I showed you that I opened up. And of course, you can make your avatar your own size, but I have mine all saved up, so I'm choosing that one. And the style it already has, I really like it. So I'm just going to change a few measurements that I can change over here. Like the circumference under the armhole, so it looks a little bit less oversized. I think the bottom circumference looks fine as it is. And I'm also going to change the sleeve circumference in the upper arm. I think it could be a little bit smaller as well. And I want the sleeves to be a little bit shorter, so I'm also going to be doing that. And the length of the dress, I think I really like it this way. And either way, when I try it on, I can choose to shorten it or not. Here you can see the fit map, the strain map, and even how the pattern is looking. And since I already have my fabric, I'm just going to modify the avatar so it looks more like the dress I'm going to make by changing the color and the fabric itself. And now I can just save and download my project. There's a tool over here that lets me know how much fabric I'll need for this pattern, which is amazing. So I always check on that. Now I can just go ahead and download the pattern. I'm downloading it in a US letter formats as a PDF, but there's tons of formats for you to choose from. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but here are my 3 pattern pieces all assembled. So I already glued all of the pages together and I cut out my pattern pieces. For this pattern, there's 3 pattern pieces. We have the sleeve, the back panel, and the front panel over there. And basically the pattern already tells you how you need to cut it. So the back and the front you need to cut on fold, and the sleeve you just need to cut 2 of them. Obviously the front and back panels are a little bit longer, so it's kind of hard to see right here, but that just depends on how long you want the dress to be. So yeah, now that we have that clear, we can move on and start cutting the fabric. Okay, and so from what I can tell, this dress is pretty simple on how to sew it. It's basically closing the sides of the sleeves, attaching the front with the back panel, and then attaching the sleeves to the dress. So it's really simple. I'd say that the most difficult part would be attaching the elastic we're going to attach on the neckline. So here I have my sleeve, and I'm going to close it on the sides like this. It closed over here. Since this is linen and it does fray a lot, I'm making sure that everything I stitch, I also zigzag stitch. Oh, I totally forgot to mention that I've already marked the notches for all of the pattern pieces. There's notches to match the sleeves and to make the hem of the dress. So this is one sleeve and here's the other one. And now I'm going to go ahead, grab my front and back panels, which are these ones. This one's my back panel, and I'm going to match the sides with the front panel, like this, and just sew the sides. Okay, so I was basically in the middle of sewing the sides of the front and back panels together, and I remembered that I wanted to make a slit on the sides, so I left like a 35 centimeter opening from the hem up so that I could do the slit. And what I did was zigzag stitch from the upper part towards the beginning of the slit, and then I zigzag stitched separately both sides so I could make the slit opening. So let me just show you how I'm planning on making it. It's really easy in case you haven't done it before. Okay, so here's where the slit begins, and here's the hem. And as you can see, I zigzag stitch this and this. So now what I'm going to do is fold it 1 centimeter towards the wrong side of the fabric, and I'm going to stitch from here all the way down, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. When you look at from the front of the fabric, so the right side of the garment, you won't have like the overcast or zigzag stitch edge showing. And just make sure to press the rest of the seam towards the back panel. I'm going to open up every seam. Okay, so right now this is how the dress is looking like. It just looks like a big piece of fabric, but here's my front and back panels together, and now I'm going to pin in place the sleeves. And after doing the sleeves, we can then attach the elastic on the neckline. And for the sleeves, I just have to basically make sure that I'm facing the front side of the sleeve with the front side of the dress. Now that I have my dress attached with the sleeves, I grabbed my elastic and closed it. I just measured around my shoulders and made sure it was the length I wanted. And obviously it's going to be smaller than the dress because it's going to like gather the fabric. So I've placed the elastic all around the neckline. I divided it equally throughout the entire neckline, and that way it'll be much easier for me to sew. But what I did was face the elastic with the right side of the dress. And now I'm going to sew while stretching the elastic 1 centimeter from the neckline up to here, so all around. Okay, and last but not least, I just have to make the hem. I folded the edge about 3 centimeters up. I first folded it 1 and then about 3 centimeters because I love the look of a wider hem, especially on linen fabric. I think it looks very pretty. So I'm going to be hemming the dress that way, and also the sleeves. Okay, so here's the final result. I absolutely love how this dress turned out. I think it's exactly what I had in mind. Just this comfy, elegant linen dress that I can just put on, and I absolutely love how it turned out. And the slit, the fabric also makes it look so well made since it's 100% linen. So I'm going to try it on and show you how it looks. And this is how it looks on me. I absolutely love it. And obviously it looks exactly like it did on the avatar. I just love that I know how it's going to look on me. And overall, it was a pretty simple dress to sew. I think it took me about 5 hours. And if you sew, you know, that's actually a pretty good time to sew something. I love the look of the wide sleeves, but you could also attach some elastic here and give it the same look like on the neckline. And I went for like a 3 centimeter wide elastic. I love the look of the thick elastic. I think it looks so nice, and it's perfect for me because I live in a hotter climate, so linen is like the ideal fabric for me to wear. And the fun thing about these patterns is that you can make them in whatever fabric you'd like. I just think linen looks really pretty. And look how beautiful the back looks as well. It's super comfy and it looks so elegant. I love it. What do you guys think?